Hey, what's up everyone? This is FXLRST, and today I'm going to be replacing the stock turn signals with a set of Drag Specialties Mini LED signals. I've got one side done already, and so I'm going to walk you through a replacement on these. In the case that you may want to do the same thing or something similar, either way, might be some helpful information for you. I've got one side done already, like I said, and currently I just got it zip tied up there just for the video purposes. And one thing I did want to point out on my signals is I'm losing the running light, so I'm no longer going to have the running light. It's just going to be just a signal by itself. Alright, so I'm going to get started with the install. And just a disclaimer, I am in no way, shape, or form a motorcycle mechanic or an electrician. I'm just a do-it-yourselfer. So work at your own risk. So I'm going to be installing a set of Drag Specialties Mini LED turn signals. And basically the way these ones come, they come with a 2-wire and they come bare. And what you're going to need is, from Harley, a 4-way socket, one of those, and you're going to need 2 terminals that go inside the socket. And basically what we're going to do is crimp. I said splice earlier. Like I said, I'm not an electrician. I don't really know the terminology. I just like to make it sound like I do. So basically what we're going to do is break these off. Not sure if you could see that. Sorry about the video quality, but so basically what you're going to do is crimp a terminal onto each wire, and once you do that, we're going to slide the wires into the housing. And basically what this is going to allow is for you to unplug your stock turn signals like so, and we're basically creating this. And in our case, or my case, it's going to be 2 wires and not the 3. The 3 is, that third one is for the running light, and like I said, these do not feature a running light. 2 wires only, just turn signals. So from Drag Specialties, it comes with a pretty long wire, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it really long just in case. I eventually plan on moving these up underneath the control levers once I do my bars and risers. So that's why for now I'm just going to go ahead and leave it with all the length, and I'll probably end up cutting off a few inches from here. On my first round that I did for the left side, I think I cut it a little bit too short, so this time I'm going to leave them just a little bit longer, make things easier. So you're going to start off by just cutting those 2 wires just to lengthen them. And then next we're going to strip some wire off each one. Like I said, I'm not an electrician, just sort of handy with my hands, and I like to work on things myself. Alright, so next step is we're going to be crimping on one of these terminals. And what you do is you just break that little tab off. At least I think you're supposed to break that off. But it worked on the last one, so we're just going to say you break it off. And then what you do here is, or what I like to do, I'm not sure if this is the correct way or not. If it's not, let me know, and I don't care. So I like to fold it over like that. And I slide. We're going to slide the wire just right here into the terminal. And basically just crimp it so that the terminal crimps onto the bare wire. Not like that. So you just want to crimp all the way around that wire. Doesn't have to look pretty. So we got one done. We'll go ahead and do the other. And all these parts are actually available directly through Harley. You can buy them online. They shipped them directly to the house. One cool thing on their website, I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed, but they've got a lot of information on there regarding parts now. You can just type in the year, make, and model of your bike, and they give you like literally every single part on the bike with an exploded view. That's kind of how I found these parts. And I've done a set of these on my Road Glide as well in the past, and I kind of like them. It's nice having that running light, but at the same time I just want to set mine's apart from everyone else's, because I know everyone's, got the same sort of deal, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, trying to be a little different. Alright, we got that all crimped up. And basically, it's really hard to see, I guess, on there. But they go in a certain way into the housing. And that's why I've got the stock one as a reference. So in our case, I'm just doing the black and purple wire, which are going to go right into the middle. And these are numbered. So it's going to be in spot number 2 and 3. So once you get your housing, there's a little door kind of deal here, which you've got to kind of pop open. So you fold that guy open. And then you're going to need to remove this little orange rubber part. And this is where things can get kind of tricky. So you just go back and look at your stock one. Make sure they're lined up in the same orientation. And black's going to go in the second slot, purple in the third. And they are going to go in one way only. And if you look at your stock one, it looks like it's hard to see it, but there's like on this square part, there's a more solid part, and that solid part is going to go in facing the middle. So you're going to want to run your wire through this little trap door kind of deal first. So pull that through, and the purple right next to it. All right, once you get those through, come through with your orange guy. Okay. It's not pretty. Hopefully it'll work. All right, so once you get all that going, we're going to go ahead and slide the wires into the slots with the fatter part towards the middle. If you kind of line them up next to each other, it makes it a little easier. It's kind of hard because I'm trying to make sure I get this on camera. And in the right spot at the same time. It's a little tricky. Got to be handy with the fingers. That's what she said. If there's an easier way to do this, feel free to let me know. Once you slide them in all the way, you'll hear a slight click. So I'm coming through with my little D-pin tool, and just to make sure they're completely seated inside there. And as you can see, now we've got terminals inside of the socket housing. So once you get those wires in there, we're going to follow that up with this little rubber piece. Slides in like so. If you don't have a deep in tool, you could use whatever you have. Screwdriver or something just to work it in. Once you get that little rubber piece seated all the way down in there, you're gonna have to fish the wires back through this little top window, door, whatever you want to call it. Oh, excuse me. And you're going to go ahead and close that door. All right, so now we are ready to plug in. So stand by and we'll make our way over. All right, so our next step is going to be to disconnect our stock blinker. So those just unplug. You could leave our existing wire that we're going to plug into, you could leave that in place. We're going to remove our turn signal with the T40 Torx. Loose. Alright, so once we've got it's held on by one Torx bolt, I'm going to feed that wire right back through the bracket. And we're ready for our new mini LED signal. All right. First things first, we're going to give it a test before we get it all mounted up and get disappointed. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in. And if we did a good job, our signal should turn on once we hit the signal. Boom. Voila. All right, so we know we're good. So I'm going to disconnect that. Okay. Next step, I'm going to fish the wire back through the same hole as the stock one. And like I said, I'm leaving this really long in case I want to relocate these blinkers up onto bars. Alrighty, so for now I'm just going to go ahead and zip tie it in place. Save the washer on there, so once I get my bolt, I don't have bolts right now, so just for video purposes, just gonna get that one mounted up right now. Hang tight. Like I said, this is just temporary until I get my bolts. Alright, so once you got your wire back through there, you're going to pull all the slack, plug this guy back in, and with all this slack, we're just going to go ahead and zip tie all this extra. We're just going to go ahead and zip tie this right up nice and tight. Alright, we got our wires nice and tight up in there. Signal right here for now. Go ahead and clip off any excess. I'm gonna leave that one a little bit long. Alright, we're all set. And in case you're wondering how I remove the fairing, I made a little short video on that, super time lapsed. It's very straightforward. It's literally 12 screws and it's super light. One person can do it on their own. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be posting up some more videos once I get the fairing back on and whatnot later.